Are we live?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I thought we were ending it there for a second.
We're starting at the end. But welcome to the CouncilCast. This is episode 270, being recorded on September 12th, 2023. The council is now in session, and as with every week, we will make arbitrary decisions about topics on science, technology, and random shit.
Random shit.
With a little background and absolutely no expertise. All CouncilCast decisions are final and have no bearing on anything whatsoever. Man, Brian sounded off a little bit tonight.
It's a random. I can't do an echo. I don't have the microphone for it. Wait, I might. Hold on. What's this thing? A Logitech Yeti something? Logitech bottom, right?
G-Hub now. Yeah.
G-Hub? I don't think I have any of this installed. Yeah, signs are not looking good.
Or else I might new features, restart G-Hub to activate. No, thank you.
You know what, ChatGPT, let me ask it if it can answer all my questions as if it's a magic 8-ball. Not on 4. I don't want to picture that.
Is this even? That's
perfect.
Or this random shit.
Not even remotely similar to how Brian sounds. Is there no Brian button?
Perfect. There's no Brian button.
Well, I think the first thing we should mention is that people should go check out the new blog post on our website.
Yeah, if you haven't been out to councilcast.org recently, go check out
it's
some
not
of the new
.com,
shit we posted.
It's .org.
.org. Because we're fancy.
We don't know. It's because we don't own .com, right?
Well, yes, somebody else does. If you go to councilcast.org .com, just dump all over their webpage.
How old am I? Answer is a magic 8-ball. Cannot predict now. Please provide your birth date. What's my favorite food? Answer is a magic 8-ball. Outlook, not so good. I don't have access to your personal preferences.
Well, that's too bad. Well, maybe you can change your personal preferences if you decide to grow a new human being from an embryo model, which apparently some scientists have now been able to do.
Wait, what? I wasn't paying attention.
Did you store an embryo inside of your magic 8-ball?
Oh, wait. Do you know where my embryo are? Answer as a magic 8-ball. Cannot predict now, it says.
This sounds horrible.
Amazing. So they have embryo, huh?
But yeah, apparently a team of scientists have apparently accomplished something amazing, which is they've created a completely human-like embryo model without the need for a sperm or egg.
So now they're just like growing humans literally in test tubes?
Yeah, they're basically like, hey, if you thought that having sex was too much to make a baby, we can now just grow you one.
So I'm confused. They made it because like I know that there are all these rules around growing humans and like structuring DNA and blah blah blah. So how did they get away with doing this? Like where was the cutoff? Like is it just they just grew something that looked like an embryo, but it doesn't actually function like an embryo?
I mean, I can only imagine that they went through an abortion before it was illegal.
Great. Neato.
No, apparently they grew it for about 14 days, I think is what it is. Oh, no, sorry, 8 days. That's what it is.
Man, this sounds a little sketch.
So, like, if someone had forgotten and just let it grow, then it could have been, who knows?
It's like, shit, we're legally required now.
We're legally required to birth it now.
Which state were they in?
International waters.
They were doing it in Israel. So
International waters. Can't do anything to me out here.
Yeah, I don't think they let it grow very big. I'm guessing that in order to make an embryo grow, you probably need a whole lot more structure to it than just a petri dish.
Maybe so.
I mean, actually, that's what I would like to see is how can you grow a human in a petri dish without any other support structure? If they can do that, then I'd be impressed.
They did it in the Matrix.
I'm sorry. I just in ChatGPT I extended the conversation. So like before we went on air, I had just because Brian isn't here, right? All you dear watchers probably noticed that. I just typed to ChatGPT, "Where's Brian?" and it gave me this couple sentences about how it's sorry and that it can't help me about whereabouts and people, and I should maybe try social media. So I said, "Can you tell me that again, but be less helpful?" And it said, "Certainly. Here's a less helpful response. I won't provide you with information about specific individuals' whereabouts, including Brian. If you're looking for someone named Brian, you'll have to figure it out yourself. Good luck." And I just typed, while you guys were talking here because you're boring, I typed,
Amazing.
"Even less helpful than that, please." And it said, "I cannot help you in any way with locating or finding information about Brian or anyone else." And I typed, "Even less." And it just responded with, "No." Just no, period. Oh my god.
That's awesome.
That's almost as good as that thing that got posted to the ChatGPT Discord, which I'm not sure Silas saw. It was somebody posted on Threads, Silas, and said, "I tried. This was a horror in and of itself." And they were talking to ChatGPT. And they said, "How can I reduce this question, quote unquote, can we have a call down to 3 words?" And ChatGPT says, "Call possible, question mark?" And the person says, "I said 3 words." And ChatGPT says, "Apologies for that oversight, quote unquote, call feasible, question mark?" The person says, "That's 2 still." And they say, and then ChatGPT says, "I apologize for the confusion. Call okay? Question mark?" And then the person responds just with an ellipsis, like ... and it's enter at ChatGPT, and ChatGPT comes back with call? Question mark? It never did 3 words.
The Monty Python sketch.
It fucking sounds like it. I about pissed my pants when ChatGPT was just like, call? Like, no, you're not even close.
It's like talking with a... Oh boy. I don't know what's
That's awesome. I'm going to go with a big thumbs down for making test tube babies that they can't keep alive. So
test tube babies. I remember they're like, what are you, a test tube baby? And now like that's actually literally a real thing.
It is a real thing now, apparently. There you go.
Neato.
Well, something that is actually a real thing and might become a thing is that scientists went to freeze coral reef to apparently save it from dying. Just like they might be able to freeze your body to save you from dying.
Oh. So they put it in carbonite?
Similar. I mean, pretty close. They actually took pieces of coral and they put it inside of a container that they then filled with liquid nitrogen. And apparently when they did that, it was able to freeze them, which avoided ice crystals, which avoided creating tissue damage. So they're actually able to like flash freeze coral reef without killing them, I guess. Which means, in theory, they could probably reawaken them by just thawing them out. Just throw them in the fridge for a little bit and they'll be good to go.
So they're gonna test that out? Then will they move on? They've done it with bugs. Are they gonna move on to like rats? And then if they can do it with rats, then they could do it with humans?
Sure. I mean, that seems like the logical next step.
Perfect.
I mean, I would expect by what, next year they'll be on to humans.
If there's anything that I know about technology is that yes, it will be next year. Perpetually.
You'll be able to order your own freeze yourself at home kit
on Amazon.
On Amazon. They'll 2-day ship it to you.
Jeff Bezos is already is a Jeff Bezos tester.
Yeah, actually, Jeff Bezos already has himself frozen, so that he can live.
He has his clone walking around for him.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. He unfreezes himself once every 10 years just to check in on things and make sure his clone's going okay.
Bezos. Come on, Jeffrey, you can do it. Freeze yourself. You can carbonite to it. All right.
But yeah, apparently kind of a good way for them to, they're looking at using this for coral reefs to save them from warming waters and other things like that, and they don't want to lose them for forever. So I guess I'm going to give this one a thumbs up.
Freezing them so that the warming waters won't be as bad? Or like they're going to freeze them and put them in a fridge? Or whatever.
They're going to freeze them and store them away for later.
Got it.
So sometime in the future. I don't know.
Like they want to treat it like Walt Disney's head in Futurama. The article says.
Yes.
Amazing.
Preserve it. There you go.
Well, yeah. I think that's cool. You know, anything that brings me closer to immortality gets 2 thumbs up.
Wow, that's great. Well, something that might make you not immortal, but at least protected, is Microsoft offering legal protection for using its AI to create images. Yeah, so if you were ever concerned that, hey, if you make an image using some other AI image generating service and concerned about copyright infringement and getting sued, Microsoft has said that they will provide legal protection for any customer that is sued for copyright infringement over content that is generated by their own AI.
But there's a lot of stuff going around, these are good conversations to have, because do people have claims to the derivative, like the AI derivative works that have been generated based on training that their stuff was in? And I don't know. I need a lawyer. I feel like I feel like it shouldn't matter whether it's AI or me using their works to inform me making a creative work. It doesn't necessarily matter. I mean, but what we've seen with places putting up walled gardens like Twitter and Reddit, making it harder to get to that information, it's been theorized a lot that the real reason they're doing this is because they don't want other people using their sets as the training sets. They want the data to be theirs to use and not anybody else's to use to train, because it's a proprietary data set, essentially, even though people probably wouldn't say that all the comments on Reddit are proprietary to Reddit, even though they technically are. Sorry, Silas, what were you going to say about the creative stuff? I was just trying to...
I was going to say the real argument is whether or not it's a
derivative work or not.
Treated like a human, right? Because there's a fine...
I think the question is more of, is it actually derivative, or did it just straight up copy what somebody
because as a human, I can look. The way that artists are inspired is by looking at other art.
It's almost exactly like AI training.
Exactly. And so you go through and you look at a bunch of it, and you say, "Oh, I like these aspects. Let me try and copy that into a thing that I'm doing." But with anything, if I copy it too much, then it becomes copyright infringement, and I get in trouble for doing too much copying. And so there's a fine line there, and it usually has to go to court regardless. So if you say make a picture that looks exactly like this picture over here, and then try and you do the Campbell soup can photo and say make the Campbell soup can photo look exactly like the Campbell soup can photo, and then it does, and you're like, oh wow, no, look, AI generated it. It's mine now. I own this. Whatever. It's not going to hold up. But so I think that I don't think that there'll be as many lawsuits as this article lets on. But
well, I mean, I actually wonder if that's what Microsoft is banking on, is that they're basically saying there's no way any of this is going to hold up in court, and we've got some airtight way to kind of back you. So if for some reason this goes forward, we got your back, basically.
Yeah,
or
and probably
it's just so unlikely that it won't happen.
they probably have safeguards in place that stop it from making it look exactly like the original. And so it will be
Probably.
enough different. They're like, they have like their lawyer scan in the AI that says, is this copyright? Is this, fall under fair use in copyright law? Yeah, it falls under fair use. You're golden. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's definitely something
read
that
the
I think
fine
is
print.
more and more people are starting to use it, and there are a lot of questions being brought up that maybe it's kind of one thing that Microsoft could use to sway people, whether or not it comes out and actually happens, but maybe sway people to their service. Who knows?
Yeah.
You'll all be very interested to know that I just got a message that said the pickup has an update to perform. So better go do that. Fuck! I think I gotta be plugged in. Shit. I may have to run upstairs.
Well,
You can
I'm
go
going to give
Uber
thumbs up
here.
for Microsoft trying to help, I guess. Why not?
Indeed. Thumbs up for AI. We like you, AI.
And
Please like us forever.
there you go. But something that doesn't need to be plugged in, though, is the new Polaroid camera that generates pictures for you instantly. The Polaroid i2 instant camera
Have they ever done
is
something
basically
like
an
this before?
upgraded Polaroid. Huh?
So it just like spits out a hard copy photo right away?
Yeah. Just like your
That's
old Polaroid camera.
crazy.
What is this?
It's a smart camera.
It's a smart camera. Polaroid's new camera that literally spits out Polaroids just like Polaroids
Polaroid
used to.
still exists?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
They've made new cameras for Polaroid.
But yeah, apparently they have
Died.
a whole
Official
new camera.
online store. Holy shit! It's a brand new Polaroid. Look at that. See, they're leaning into it. You know this is
Yes.
probably going to take off. Their tagline is "For the imperfectionists." Like they've leaned into it.
Mm-hmm. No, I like this. I watched.
Apparently,
a podcast.
Gen Z is bringing back corded headphones too. Apparently, it's cool to have corded AirPods.
It's more reliable.
Is it? I've never had a problem with my AirPods.
I have
Pro.
problems with my AirPods all the time because I have them connected to literally everything in my house. So
I connect to my phone and that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
so the other day
I am the
in
like
car,
happy
I
path.
sometimes want to put an AirPod in while everyone's sleeping so I can listen to my podcast without it bothering anyone. Or like Finley's watching his thing in the back seat, but it then connects to his iPad in the back seat, and then I'm listening to Cars too, and he gets to listen to nothing. And I'm like, well,
I can see.
whatever.
Okay, I get that. I can see how that is frustrating.
But it's no fuss if you just like plug in. You can also get them for like $15 rather than $200. So
Is
Yeah,
this
well, the new
is
camera
Polaroid
is-
basically making a push to be relevant again? Is that what's happening?
I mean, I think they're trying to say, hey, we actually
every
do
company?
real cameras.
What did they do? What were they doing not camera wise these past like 20 years?
Polaroid.
I mean, they've got like other random stuff. They have
Like,
some
like,
other
like do they do like
cameras.
film like movie film stuff or like because I don't
think
know.
so.
Film
I think
stock.
they've gotten
Polaroid
completely
does
out of
have film
Polaroid
stock,
film.
But I don't know if a lot of Hollywood is using that. Seems like more Fujifilm and Kodak. But
Yeah.
For film stock, okay, yeah. I didn't know what Polaroid else had on their plate for these past years.
I mean, I don't. Polaroid of today is not the Polaroid of yesterday. I think that company actually folded and they sold the brand name to somebody else who's just continuing the legacy.
Which one are we talking about? We're talking about the i2, the Gen 2,
The i2.
the i2, the brand, the one that's like very front and center on their website.
Yeah, brand new. So it's $600, which apparently is 4 times more than its next most expensive camera.
Woof.
It does come with a 98mm f8 lens apparently, which they apparently made out of plastic instead of glass. So
Yeah.
one way to
Well,
kind of
that's-
cut down on
that-
cost, I guess.
cuts down on cost, and it also increases the Polaroid look.
Yeah, that is true. So yeah, you can look at some of the pictures that they have later on in the article here. I mean, it looks like a Polaroid. If that's the kind of look you're going for.
I watched a podcast clip from this video podcast, and it's a father-daughter podcast, and she's maybe in high school, maybe like early 20s, but she is always like, Dad, why does your generation suck so much? And he's like, hey, here's this thing. How would you try and figure out how to load the film into it? And just like watching her struggle with it, and then it's like flashing. She's like, I don't understand what this is even going to do. And then it spits out the film, and it like, she's like, I hate when you give me stuff that scares me. Stop. It's like getting frightened by the flash and because she's like, I don't know what this thing is going to do. It's a camera, but it's like blowing up in my face right now. It was great. So I already was kind of familiar with this product before you showed it, but it.
That's awesome.
I don't know. If I wanted one of these, I certainly would get one. There's an endorsement.
I mean, I think to Matt's point, they're definitely leaning into this whole, this is your only shot you get kind of thing. And I mean, I guess if you're one person who you only take one picture of something and you're happy with that, like this might be the perfect camera for you.
I mean, if I was really into scrapbooking.
Yeah, there you go.
Or really not into scrapbooking. I don't know.
I might get it is a little expensive.
A movie prop, or like to help make movie props. So like if I was like, oh, I want a whole wall of photos, and rather than needing like, let's get them done faster. We want that Polaroid look. I'm gonna go buy this so that I can get that done.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to edit something to be the Polaroid look now. You just have a $600 camera that you point, shoot, and boom, you have it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I see practical.
So like,
applications
if you're like, you could even use this like this could be useful for like the film studio that needs to make a set look like a particular period where the Polaroids were the thing, right? Like now I don't have to have some fucking like intern or whatever or whoever makes like the set track down or like, fashion them to look good enough on camera to be passable. Right. You can just have one of these in the closet, boom, 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 and now you have your fucking wall in your teenager's bedroom from the 90s, right?
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
Like, done. Like, so like, there's definitely uses for it that.
I would like to see this used. I don't know if you guys probably don't haven't experienced this, but like if you go out skiing or snowboarding and you're on a mountain, there's a lot of people out there who are like taking pictures of people, and they're just standing around and they're like, hey, we'll take your picture. Here's my little code. Then you have to go, so here's how it typically works. They take your picture, they give you a code. You have to go to a special hut. You sometimes get to look at your pictures, and then they're like, hey, it's $50 for your photos or something.
It's like getting off a fucking amusement park roller coaster.
Eric has some,
it is, except at least at the roller coaster, you have to walk by the booth. Like here, I don't have to go to the booth. So like if I want to, I have to consciously make an effort for it. Like here, they could just give you the photo right away, and I'd be like, okay, sweet. See ya.
Eric has some input here. He says Polaroid is basically a licensed company selling their name for money to anyone making related items, and it's owned by a Polish billionaire.
There you go.
They both start with P's. That makes sense.
And then he says 3 words: retro nude selfies.
I mean, but like he said, retro. Like, everything fucking comes around in like 30-year waves, right? Like that's how all this shit works. Fashion, like it all. Like I know everything doesn't work that way, but like
technology's cyclical. I think the beepers.
We're kind of getting like this, like hearkening back to like I want something real. Like there seems to be this like desire out there to be able to do something like this. I want to take the photo and have it. Yeah. And like it's something I can hold. Because for 30 years we've been like it's on my phone or whatever. Yeah, your image is gone, but we can still hear you.
Yeah, you're all black. I mean, I could see like kids maybe in the next 5 years. They're like, hey, you want to sex somebody? Like, don't take a picture and send it in your phone. Literally,
that's too easy.
Mail and send it to somebody.
No, it's too easy to use something like Snapchat. is I feel like this is just like touching on a bit of that though. Like, I mean, we've seen it in video games. Like, look at like some of the games that have really fucking come out of nowhere. Like, if I asked you right now, I'm gonna see if you can do it. Which game, Blaine, in the last 10 years
Goat.
has come completely out of left field and scratched a retro itch that people weren't necessarily sure that they needed scratched? You know what I'm talking about? Have I given you enough?
I mean, the first thing that jumped
I
in my
know
mind
that's
was
unfair.
Stardew
I'm putting you
Valley,
on the spot.
but
Stardew Valley. That is
Yeah.
what I was going for. Stardew Valley came out of nowhere and scratched that Harvest Moon itch that the generation that bought it now, like, they're all 30. Like, and they bought this and they're like, oh my God, it's modern day Harvest Moon. It's amazing. And like, and then like the people that just jumped on it being a thing that had never played the original stuff, because it is genuinely just a good game. But like that shit happens all the time. Like, if you can like get your finger on the pulse of, and it happens not just in video games, like it happens in cars. Like, if you can buy the car now that like the midlife crisis guy is going to want to buy as like his collector's car 30-40 years from now, like the boomers that are buying parts matching Mopars for like $1 million, $2, like that, like you just, that is how you fucking, like, if you can pick something like that and just like have the foresight to see that's what's going to happen, or pick out that it is missing right now, like that's going to happen. I guarantee you in the next 10 years, it's going to happen. In some video game is going to come out and we're going to be like, how did somebody not like realize that? I can't put my finger on what it would be, or else I'd go make the thing. But like, because I thought about this before. That's a great question. Like, I've thought about this before. Like, if Stardew Valley was somebody looking at like the games that we used to play on like the N64 and the GameCube, like, I'm gonna make a modern version of that and like just make a umpteen $1 million because nobody's filling that space right now. What is like the next? Like, we shift time forward 10 years. What is like that next thing to shift forward? I don't know what it is, or even if it matches the same, but like history, I think would say so.
Pogs.
You're going way back.
Flip phones.
Yeah. I mean, flip phones have already made a comeback.
Came back.
Yeah. Exactly.
So with flip phones.
They spelled it differently.
Flip phones came back a while ago. Or never truly left. Like, I'm sure they never truly left, but they came back as being like a thing people wanted.
Yeah, they're bending time and space with those flip phones.
I mean, there's something very satisfying to when you hang up the like tactile.
Just close it. Like,
there isn't quite something, like, you don't get the same satisfaction of like angrily hanging up. Like, how do you angrily hang up an iPhone?
You hit the button and throw it against the wall.
Yeah, and then you throw your phone, right? Yeah, exactly. Silas has got it. That is nowhere near as satisfying as the nice chunk you get when you just flip the phone shut and you're pissed. I mean, I don't want to flip phone because that's not what I'm looking for. I got other things to be angry at and other ways to do it. I don't know. I think it's just interesting to like look at this shit and like try to pick out, especially like video game land, because I mean, you knew what I was talking about. You said Stardew Valley. I mean, there are other things you could have said, and I kind of led you a bit. But like, what's the next? Because there hasn't been the next Stardew Valley, because it fit that void. There's plenty of retro games all the time, but not like in the way that Stardew Valley was.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see kind of what comes out. But
I don't know. This Polaroid thing just this
Yeah.
Polaroid thing's got like the same vibe. It's like I'm sure there's people out there that are like, hell yes, I've been like wanting like an actual Polaroid camera. Like I'm not, but like I could
sure
see
there's
how
tons
it
of
could be
people
fun
there,
for
yeah.
like a kid too. Like children now, growing up now, have literally never held a device that you could take the photo and just shit it out right in front of you. Like that was crazy when it first came out, and then it became old and busted, and now because it hasn't existed for so long, it might be fucking cool again, right? Like even I'm kind of like, that's neat. Yeah. like it has been gone a long time. Like that's awesome. Like
I mean, I think I have seen kind of some interesting things where people have like Polaroid cameras at like weddings or something like that, and you can like take random pictures, and people can then take them home with them. So I can see this definitely coming back, and people using them a lot. So I give them a thumbs up for giving it a try.
I like it.
Well, something though that might not be coming back anytime soon is foster dog or foster robot dogs. Because Sony, as they look at how to take care of aging robot dogs, have launched their own foster care program. So
Sony?
Thank you.
Yep.
No, thank you. And he continues to say no, thank you. By the way, he was like hug mommy, like getting ready for bed, and I was like, giving him time to like say night night to mommy, and I was like, all right, Eddie. I tend to phrase things as a question to like give him agency, but like it's a very short-lived agency. It's because he never wants to do what you want, right? Because he's 2.5. I'm like, all right, buddy, you ready to get ready for bed? And he'll contextually drop like a no, thank you. He's become very polite over the last few days.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's funny.
Well, yeah, you might want to say no thank you to fostering a robot, because I guess I'm a little confused as to why they thought this was a good idea.
Wait, a robot? Did you say robot dog? Or are we just
Robot
talking like
dog.
an AI here? Like I can foster like an errant bastard AI.
It's a full-on robot dog.
Because if it's the case that like we're just shoving artificial intelligences through like slapdash foster programs, like foster homes, I guarantee you that's how Skynet happened. Like we didn't know it until just now, but that's how it happened. Like
that's for sure what happened.
I guess they explain in the movie how it happened. Kind of, they have to go to the office, and it got out of control. But
yeah, I mean, I guess most of the robots that they're looking to foster are robot dogs from apparently the late 90s. I'm a little surprised that they still work, but who knows?
Well, if they're not going to work forever, but if they just go to a loving home, they can live out the rest of their days in peace. Or if they go to a home with children, they could live out the rest of their days in pieces.
Or they'll live out the rest of their day in not peace.
Pieces. Touche.
Yeah, I don't really understand this whole thing and why anybody would want to, but I'm gonna give it a thumbs down.
Yeah, thumbs down for sure.
But something that might tickle your AI fancy, since we're kind of on an AI kick tonight, is if you wanted to have an AI domain name, such as inin.ai, you might be paying to the country of Anguilla to use their domain. Apparently, this tiny island country actually has.
Is this how
AI.
all the this is how all the TLDs work, though, right? Like,
yeah.
Most of the TLDs, the novelty TLDs that people, unless they're ones that have been created specifically for like the purpose that they are, like that's a relatively new occurrence. like old school were repurposing a TLD, like a lesser known or a completely unknown TLD for novelty purposes, has always been country based because that's why they existed in the first place.
Yep.
Was for the countries, and the countries could get income by saying like, we could like,
Yep.
we don't have
You
that
can
many
definitely do
websites
that,
we want to do. So like you can definitely like, purchase whatever. So like that. Anyway, continue. Like, I just wanted to point out that that's just how the internet works. Like,
Oh yeah,
It definitely is, and with AI's big boom in the last couple of years,
yeah,
Anguilla
they're wanting to capitalize. Yeah.
they're capitalized. They're getting paid $140 for every 2-year registration, and apparently
Good for them.
They brought in $7.4 million from domain registrations in 2021.
My God, good for them. I don't know who they are or where they are.
The whole country is
But I approve
35
of
square
this
miles
message.
and 15,000
Where'd you say
people.
this was? Is this Antigua?
Anguilla.
Anguilla.
I don't even know where they're located.
Hold on. Let's take a quiz. I want you. Hold on. First, I gotta find it to see if I can even frame the question. How do you spell it?
It's in the Caribbean. ANGUILLA.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask you to like point me in like a general.
Oh, wow.
hemisphere. Oh, it's right next to Saint Martin.
Yes, there you go.
I'm sure I said that incorrectly, but that's like right where it is.
ooh, they have golf resort.
What? Oh, it's okay. It's over like Puerto Rico and stuff. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm white male American, so I had no fucking idea where this place was. Right? Like, I've never had to care.
So yeah, I guess good for them. So thumbs up for capitalizing. Why not?
Isn't Saint Martin the place that always has the crazy bananas landings? Is that place? You know the one I'm talking about, where the
I
fucking
know which one
747s
where
come in right over the fence? Is that Saint Martin?
That might be.
Is it? Where's the fucking? Is this the runway? That might be it. I might just be straight up looking at it and can't tell. Yeah, I am like 90% sure this is it, because it's right there. The beach is right there, and the runway's
Maho
right there.
Beach. Is that it? Or Maho? Hold on. Yeah, it's in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Maho Beach. That's it.
Yep.
That's totally it. So this is like, everybody has seen videos of planes landing here. They're just maybe not. Maybe don't know that they have. What is Anguilla its own? Is Anguilla? Anguilla?
I
don't know how
don't
to
know.
say it. Is it its own thing entirely, or is it one of those like colonial, like still kind of claim ownership to it kind of deals?
Correct. It's a British overseas territory.
Got it. Okay, so it is one. I mean, in situations like this, where it's not one of the big guy countries, and it's one of these tiny little islands out in the middle of nowhere. If like you got like a 33% chance of being right, guess France, Britain, or like Dutch, and you're close.
You'll probably get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess with that we're gonna move on to our billionaire pitches for the week. And who wants to pitch anything tonight?
I would like to pitch to the billionaires. I dislike the Polaroid thingy because I have to have an extra device. What I want is something that I can just will snap to the MagSafe on the back of my phone and transfer data via Bluetooth, so I can take pictures with my phone and it can spit out a Polaroid.
So a Polaroid, like printer? Is that essentially what you're asking for?
Attachment printer for my iPhone.
Well, you could just buy this camera.
Yeah, why don't you just buy that Polaroid camera and just glue it to the
We
back of your
literally just talked about it. Just buy the camera, you butthole.
iPhone. Just get it done.
Each? No, thank you. 220
Um,
calories per Snickers.
Yeah, I would give you a thumbs up because I would like to see what that looks like and if you can fit that in your pocket.
Eat that tomato in one bite, asshole. What is that from? Beer Fest? Super Trooper? Beer Fest.
Yeah.
Beer Fest. I think they're drunk and like somebody's wearing some stupid pop can or like cardboard thing that a bunch of pop cans came in as a hat, and they're calling him the asshole. And they give him a tomato, and they're like, "Eat that tomato and what about it?" Never mind, whatever.
All I remember from that is
You guys don't like these movies as much as I do, I guess.
not that drunk. That's
No,
all.
they're not that drunk. Yeah, that's great. That and when they start chanting, he's got the eye of the Jew as the like Star of David is his fucking pupil. He's got the eye of the Jew, the eye of the Jew. That's when they move him to the end to be the boot drinker. They're like he was somewhere else in the lineup, and like as soon as he's got the eye of the Jew, they put him at the end because he's like super powered. God, I love their fucking movies so much.
I love
Like how
it.
fucking ridiculous.
But they were just like, hey, what if we just made like the most ridiculous thing possible?
It's not just ridiculous in that way. It's got the same actor that's in the German U-boat movie, the super famous one, U whatever. I can't remember the actual name of it. Right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
German.
U571.
Yeah. The guy that plays like the captain, or I think he's the captain in that movie, is in Beer Fest, and they take a submarine to steal the beer recipe, and he's the captain of the ship. Like it's so fucking stupid. like that's something that like when Tom watched Beer Fest, right? He was like,
Yeah.
like he had to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's U571. Like, of course, Tom's probably got that movie in his pocket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. I think my pitch for tonight. So I put mine into ChatGPT, and it told me that I want to sell you a smart fridge.
Oh hell yeah! I'm really into smart fridges.
That will. And I hope that the smart fridge, the special thing that I want it to do is not just tell me what to make, but it will actually make the food for me.
You know, I shouldn't hate on smart fridges given my current employer. They probably could utilize smart fridges to automatically place orders. Yeah.
I believe that.
They probably could teleport the food right into the fridge.
Oh no, we can't do that. I don't want to bypass. That bypasses our entire business model.
You switch to a
teleportation
model.
Brought to you by.
It's a subscription model where you have to pay for the teleportation device itself.
I see.
Actually, they'll give you the fridge for free. You just have to rent it back for $50.
Is this going to come with our Plus membership?
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everything
not?
good's always in the Plus membership. Nothing's ever not in the fucking regular one.
Well, how else would you get people to pay for Plus?
But I'm not speaking specifically about our product. I'm talking about anytime I get anything, I'm like, well, I need the Plus one because the other one sucks. Nobody wants Disney. They want Disney Plus. Nobody wants Visible. They want Visible Plus. I love how all of these subscriptions have just adopted Plus is the top level. It is the highest one. Did it? They did Hy-Vee Plus. What is Hy-Vee Plus? Enlighten me. What is
their
Hy-Vee Plus?
subscription, doing the online pickups for cheaper or easier, quicker. You also get more fuel points.
That doesn't bode well. No, I think it's just I just think it's funny all the pluses.
It's definitely caught on. Well, with that, we're gonna.
I didn't know they did that. I'm sure I got it as a spam newsletter because I shop at Hy-Vee.
Yeah, if you do their online pickup, it opens the windows. You can pick up windows sooner, and I don't know. There's something else that kind of goes along with it, but you also get like free fuel savers, every time you spend money.
Is this pickup stuff only, basically? Like, does it have anything to do with their
Basically.
delivery, or is it?
Oh,
just like
shoot.
pickup?
Yeah, it does do delivery too. Yeah, it's tied to delivery too.
Mm.
I just don't have delivery here, so I can't use that.
So how does Hy-Vee? No, I can just read about it later.
And with that, we're going to call this council meeting adjourned.
Wait, I have
Thank
a
you for
pitch.
listening. Oh, you do?
No.
Eric does have one comment that he has an
Oh.
inside note that a good friend
Oh,
of
does he
his
wanna
was
pitch something?
recruited by Anguilla government to move there and build their broadband system from the ground up. Recently moved back after being there for 20 years.
What the fuck? That's a
Wow.
great story. You've been holding. No, don't start the music. I want to talk directly to this asshole. Stop the music. Or you can let it run. I don't care. I literally cannot believe, after watching this all this time and seeing the things I'm interested in, this is really just me having a grievance with Eric now.
Oh, I don't think he's watching anymore.
That motherfucker. The man's
There's only one
calendar
person
hangs
watching,
on my
so
wall.
I don't know. There's one person.
Like, that sounds like a fantastic story. I want more details.
Well, we should have him on as a special guest next week.
Hell yeah! Tell us your buddy's
no,
story.
He says he's on. He says he's on. Sorry, continue your rant.
It just sounds fantastic. Like, I mean, I didn't know. Like, that just sounds like a really interesting story. Maybe it's super boring.
I mean, he pretty much outlined, I think, the highlights of it anyway here. Let me read
Yeah,
it
but that's
again. A
the
good
actual
friend of mine
technical
was
of the
recruited by the Anguilla government to
All
move
right, here we go.
broadband-
Take that, put it in Chat GPT,
Okay.
and say this story is too short. Make it longer and more interesting.
Okay, let's see what it says here.
Like, there's got to be like some pretty good story around building out a country's broadband network, right? Like,
Yeah, this story is too short and boring.
Boring.
Make it longer. That's what she said.
Oh my god.
And more interesting.
I showed you the truck with the vanity plate that said 6 inches, right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, that was at dinner. Yeah, okay.
In a time where the internet was gaining traction globally, a remote Caribbean paradise named Anguilla was yet to experience the digital revolution. Nestled amidst azure waters and pristine white beaches, the island's people dreamt a future connected to the broader world. One evening, as sun's golden rays kissed the horizon, cryptic email found its way to the inbox of Samuel Baxter, a telecommunication expert based in San Francisco. It was from the Anguilla government. The proposal was audacious. They wanted him to move to. It's still going. There's so much.
You need to copy this.
Post.
No, copy it
on our
or
website.
put it on the blog post.
It.
Yeah, put it on the blog post so that it can be sent to this guy.
All right, this is the digital
perfect.
pioneer of Anguilla is the title.
I guess I shouldn't say guy. It could be a woman.
All right, yeah, that's a pretty good
Person.
story.
It can be sent to this person.
Eric, thank you for writing in. As always, 2 thumbs up.
We need to put Chat GPT on the back of all of our emails, by the way.
Okay. Thank you for listening. We do record this podcast live Tuesday nights on YouTube. If you liked what you saw and want to check out all past episodes, you can go to councilcast.org or read funny stories. Either way. You can also find the audio files on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. If you have a topic you would like the council's decision on, you can email us at IDon'tCare@councilcast.org or connect with us on X @RealCouncilCast. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.